have seats up the front for the person standing there. We have seats to the side, front.
Good morning, everyone. As we prepare for today's activity, I invite Ms. Bonswell to come and lead us in devotion.
Good morning to God's wonderful people. Good morning. No, man, we will need to hear it a little bit better than that. Good morning, God's wonderful people. Good morning. All right, it is an awesome day in the presence of the Lord, and so we give thanks to our God, for he's good, for his mercies endureth forever. Bow your heads with me at this time. I greet you well. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this momentous occasion, the official launch of this national association. We commit every coordinator, every student, every mentor, every workplace into your hands. May this occasion be a beacon of guidance, opportunity, and transformation. Empower us to empower others, and let your wisdom lead us as we prepare future leaders, innovators, and professionals through work experience. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. I want to just draw your attention in brief to one verse of scripture taken from Colossians 2 and verse 23. And it reads, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your hands and heart, as working for the Lord." My little theme to us this morning for this devotional exercise is planting seeds for a future harvest. Planting seeds for a future harvest. When we think of work experience, we often focus on practical skills. How to draft a resume, show up on time, or to navigate a professional space. But beneath all of this lies something deeply spiritual and visionary. We are indeed planting seeds. Do you agree with me this morning? A seed looks small and unimpressive, yet within it lies all the potential for something great. A tree, a garden, and then a harvest. In the same way, every opportunity we create for a student, every mentorship conversation that we have, every job placement, every lesson in professionalism is a seed. It may seem small today, but over time, under the right conditions, that seed can blossom into a career, a calling, and a contribution to nation building. I want to just draw attention today to the fact that seeds need soil, creating that right environment. You see, seeds don't grow in just any environment. As coordinators, we help to cultivate the right kind of soil. The workplaces, the schools, the companies that will offer mentorship and meaningful engagement for our students. I want to ask us this question this morning as we reflect. Are we creating that kind of supportive environment where young people can feel free and safe to explore and to grow? You will also agree with me in this moment of reflection that seeds need water and light, ongoing support and encouragement. Seeds cannot grow without nourishment. Neither can young people grow without consistent support. A one-time placement is good, but a journey of mentorship, guidance, and encouragement is better. And so we want to be that light that gives hope when our students feel unsafe. You will also agree with me this morning that seeds take time. Trust in the process. Growth takes time. Not every student will flourish immediately. And I see them looking at me and nodding their head to say yes. Some will make mistakes, lose motivation, or struggle to connect their experience to their goals. But just as a farmer waits patiently for the rain and the sun to do their work, We must also trust the process. Your labor colleagues will not be in vain, even when you do not see the immediate results. Galatians chapter 6 and verse 9 says, "Let us not be weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." The last point I want to just share with us this morning in this moment of reflection is that seeds multiply. They impact beyond the individual. The amazing thing about seeds is that they don't just produce one fruit. A single tree can yield hundreds of fruit, and within each fruit, one more seed. In the same way, when we invest in students, we potentially impact an entire family, an entire community, and a generation to come. Empowered individuals often go on to empower others. Your work has a multiplying effect that reach far beyond what you can see today. So in wrapping up, as work experience coordinators, we're farmers of the future. We till the soil, plant the seeds, provide support, and trust God for the growth. Don't underestimate the power of your role. We're not just scheduling appointments. We're shaping lives, empowering the future, partnering with God. He is the ultimate savior in his redemptive work of calling and purpose. So today, as this association is officially launched, may it be a field filled with seeds of hope, guidance, opportunity, and transformation. Let us go forth and plant with vision, faith, and diligence, trusting God that we will reap a harvest in due time. Bow your heads with me for the last time. Lord, we dedicate this association and all its members to you. May every strategy, partnership, and initiative be led by your hand. Let this body be united in purpose, strong in resolve, and rich in impact. May the students we serve find not just jobs, but direction, dignity, and destiny. We declare this launch blessed, and we step forward in faith and excellence. Amen. I declare today, may the Lord establish the work of his hand. Psalm 90 and verse 17. And may every seed you plant bear in season. Go forth, empower, to guide, and to build a future through meaningful work experience. God richly bless you all.
Thank you, Mrs. Bonswell. Empowering, wonderful, thanks a lot. Mrs. Collis Peart Selvin, President of the National Association of Work Experience Coordinator, Senior Education Officer, Region 6, Mrs. Fiona Morris Webb, Mrs. Julia Edwards, Lead Technical Development Officer of the Ministry of Education, Youth Skills and Information, and all other TDOs present today. Dr. Mark Nicely, Secretary General of the Jamaica Teachers Association, and all other JTA representatives. Mr. Denmark Finnekin, our guest speaker. Special invited guests, our sponsors, our work experience coordinators, and please excuse me, our principals and vice principals, teachers, students, well-wishers, good morning. We're gathered here today to experience what we call a cataclysmic moment as we launch the National Association of Work Experience Coordinators under the theme, Empowering Careers Through Work Experience. And at this time, I invite our Vice President, Mr. Graham, to do our welcome.
As work experience coordinators, we do our job through sheer commitment. That coupled with respect, excellence, accountability, collaboration, and honesty is the driving force behind what we do. We are resolute in bridging education and industry. Ministry officials, regional directors of the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, executives of the JTA, Jamaica Teachers Association, and your team, lead TDO, Miss Julia Edwards, with responsibility for work experience, sixth form pathway program, and our team of regional TDOs, principals, industry partners from the public and private sectors, work experience coordinators, children, well-wishers, colleagues, partners. I am Derek Graham, Vice President of the Association of National Work Experience Coordinators. And I am proud today to acknowledge you who took time out of your busy schedule to be here with us to support what we are here to do today. It is not an easy job to bridge the gap between education and industry. But coming here today and seeing company of this magnitude and this caliber, I feel encouraged that we will make it eventually. We are here today to establish ourselves as an association representing our members across Jamaica and the world. We can't do this without you. And you being here makes us proud. And we feel honored. And we are here to say welcome and thank you for coming. Rest assured and that we are going to be resolute in garnering your support and nurturing what we do best, delivering profitable, meaningful work experience to Jamaica, to make Jamaica a place to live, grow, and make worthwhile living. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Graham. At this time, before we move on, let us just do a little housekeeping. Those persons who wish to have something to refresh yourself, you may go on the 3rd floor. Also, the restrooms are on the exit to your right, to your left, sorry. And everyone should be okay with that for the rest of the day. Let us do some roll call. Let us see the parishes that are present today. And as we do the roll call, as you hear your parish, raise your hands, make a sound, do something as we applaud you for being here. So we'll start from our far east. Anyone here from Portland? Woo! Good. St. Mary. Excellent. Why you not clapping them? Them come from far, you know. Yes. St. Anne. Trelawney. St. James. St. James, plenty. And that's where we had this church service the other day, and they did turn up. Welcome, St. James. Hanover. All right. Westmoreland. St. Elizabeth. Manchester. How about Clarendon? I could tell. St. Catherine. Anybody from St. Catherine? Look how St. Catherine full up the place. Kingston. That's right. St. Andrew. St. Andrew is here. Sorry, Kingston and St. Andrew it should be. And those were the voices you heard earlier. Welcome again. Oh, St. Thomas. St. Thomas. St. Thomas in the house in white. Thank you, St. Thomas. All right, have we covered the 14? We have. And what a beautiful day this is setting out to be. All right, so at this time you will hear greetings from the following persons in this order. We'll have Mrs. Julia Edwards, our lead technical development officer, and then of the Ministry of Education, Youth, Skills and Information, then Dr. Mark Nicely from the Jamaica Teachers Association, and I will come back to you thereafter. Please welcome Mrs. Julia Edwards. Miss Julia Edwards.
Our moderator, Ms. Joyce Samuels, Mrs. Collis Peart-Selvin, President of the National Association of Work Experience Coordinators, and other members of the executive, Director of Regional Educational Services in the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, Mrs. Sophia Forbes Hall, welcome. Mrs. Fiona Morris Webb, Senior Education Officer, Technical Development Officers, and other representatives of the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information. Dr. Mark Nicely, Secretary General of the Jamaica Teachers Association and other representatives of the JTA. Principals, Vice Principals, Mr. Andrew Lee, CEO of eLearning Jamaica, Mr. Denworth Finnekin, our guest speaker for today, and I must pause here to say that he's also a former Senior Director of the Heart and STA Trust and a former Director of the National TVET Program in the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information. And so the association would have made an awesome choice in identifying someone who can speak really to the work of work experience coordinators or industry partners, both from the public and private sector, other specially invited guests, work experience coordinators, students, well-wishers, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my honor to bring you greetings this morning on behalf of the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information. Work experience coordinators, we have come a long way. And I'm just so excited that we can celebrate this moment in time with you. Back in July 1975, when the Ministry of Education established the National Work Experience Program, it was more than an educational initiative. It was a prophetic vision. The program recognized a fundamental truth that remains as relevant today as it was nearly 5 decades ago. Education without practical application is incomplete. And the workforce preparation without purposeful guidance is inadequate. In fact, the establishment of the National Work Experience Program would have led to the formation of a number of institutions which stand tall today as beacons of pride for Jamaica. Now, telling you about it when I only have 3 minutes for a greeting would not do it justice. But I encourage you to do a quick Google search on work experience in Jamaica, and you will better understand the deep roots of this initiative in Jamaica's high schools and of course its role in our economy. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Work Experience Program was designed to introduce grades 10 and 11 students to the world of work through industry attachment. This meant when students exited grade 11 of their high school years, they would have had the basic skills required to access entry-level jobs aligned to their technical and vocational areas of study. Now, if you pay close attention to business news, both locally and internationally, you will often find that there's an existential gap that is mentioned there between academic attainment and practical know-how for students graduating from high schools, from colleges, and from universities. But we are assured that students who have benefited from work experience usually don't fall on the negative side of the statistics. As we celebrate the formation of the National Association of Work Experience Coordinators, NAWEC, we acknowledge that this historic moment represents the maturation of that original vision. What began as a program to bridge the gap between school and work has evolved into something far more profound, a calling to shape the destiny of Jamaica's youth and, by extension, the future of our nation. Work experience coordinators, you stand at the intersection of education and employment. You are called to something greater than job placement and program coordination. You are architects of possibilities, builders of bridges between dreams and reality, and gardeners tending the seeds of potential in every young person who enters your sphere of influence. Your work transcends the mechanical matching of students with placements. Every relationship you forge with an employer becomes a doorway of opportunity. Every student you guide through their first professional experience receives more than skills. They gain confidence, and you see it. They find their purpose, and certainly they get a glimpse of their own capabilities. Every challenge you navigate in connecting classroom theory with workplace practice contributes to the larger project of national development. And so, coordinators, this is your season. Your time to recognize that your role is not merely administrative, but it is transformational. You're positioned at this crucial juncture where young minds discover their gifts and learn to multiply their talents in service to themselves, their families, and their country. Excellence is in fact your calling card. Excellence in this context, however, demands more than competence. It requires passion. It requires persistence and unwavering commitment to the young people that you serve. So as you execute your duties each day, remember your work ripples through generations. The students you guide today may become the entrepreneurs who create jobs tomorrow, the teachers who inspire the next generation, or the leaders who transform communities. So continue to give of your best efforts, not because it is required, but because excellence is a natural expression of purpose-driven work. When you cultivate employer relationships, and some of our stakeholders are here to celebrate with us today, do so with the understanding that you're creating pathways for young Jamaicans to contribute meaningfully to the economy. When you support students through their work experience journey, recognize that you are helping them discover not just what they can do, but who they can become. Your daily commitment to excellence in this context serves many masters. You're serving the students whose futures depend on your quality guidance. You're serving the employers who trust you to connect them with young people. And the nation is relying on you to ensure that we have skilled and confident persons entering the workforce to drive development. The formation and now official launch of the National Association of Work Experience Coordinators, NAWEC, under the partnership of the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information and the Jamaica Teachers Association, represents more than organizational structure. It embodies collective faith in the transformative power of practical education. You are now stewards of this transformation, charged with ensuring that the work experience program continues to evolve and adapt to meet the dynamic needs of employers and the aspirations of students. Through NAWEC, you have the opportunity to elevate the work of all coordinators, share best practices that maximize students' outcomes, and advocate for policies that strengthen the bridge between education and employment. You are called to be not just practitioners, but ambassadors of the work experience movement in Jamaica. And therefore, in continuation of your work, I further charge you to carry with you the confidence that comes from unity of purpose, the strength that flows from collaborative effort, and the faith that your daily efforts serve a higher calling. At the recent church service, I stated, and I quote, "NAWEC is not just what you have formed, but you are certainly becoming. It is who you are becoming as coordinators, as counselors, as advocates, bridge builders, and dream enablers. May your work bear fruit for generations to come, and may Jamaica's youth find in you not just coordinators, but champions for their potential and architects of their success. Together, we're building more than a program. We're building the future of Jamaica, one student, one experience, one transformed life at a time. And so on behalf of the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, and in particular the technical development officers with oversight responsibility for the National Work Experience Program, I extend congratulations to the executive team and members of NAWEC. The milestone moment you have achieved with this launch is strong evidence of your work and your worth. May you endeavor to continue to make excellence your hallmark, and may you serve as an inspiration to schools not yet offering this initiative to get on board and ultimately lead to the work experience program being a staple in all our high schools. Ladies and gentlemen, if you permit me, we currently have 100 high schools offering the work experience program. We would have achieved remarkable growth since 2022. And so we are grateful for the team and grateful for the schools that continue to collaborate with us to see this growth. We have other schools that are expressing interest. Of course, there are some back of house matters that we have to settle for them to formally be onboarded. However, 100 schools is remarkable.
Yes.
I also want to share that up to 2022, our schools of special education did not have work experience. And we started in Region 1 with 2 of our schools. Now we have 5 schools of special education offering the work experience program. Because, ladies and gentlemen, all of us know somebody with a skill. Because every person in this room has a skill. Some of us are certified, some of us are not certified in those skills, but it's a skill nonetheless. And every Jamaican child is a talented child, and every student has the capacity to do something great with his or her life. And we have to continue to ensure that we put measures in place to unearth their potential so that they too can become contributing members of society. And so to NAWEC, every blessing on your journey, and may the momentum being experienced now continue for many decades to come in service to our students, the education system, and national development.
Good morning, everyone. Let me greet you well and join in the words of welcome already expressed. The Jamaica Teachers Association is indeed happy and privileged and blessed and highly favored to be afforded the opportunity to host you today. If we had the ability, we would stretch the building, but we don't have that ability, and so it's gonna be a little tight. But for persons who are standing, we are seeking to get a few more chairs to assist you. One of the things I'm gonna ask is that we do not allow for a fire to break out today. Any other day probably, but not today, as we go forward. It's great to see a blend of students and teachers and ministry officials and of course the representatives of the National Work Experience Organization. I want to greet your president and the executive, all ministry officials, few are here. I believe you will have the right keynote speaker by virtue of what work experience is and the synergy between what work experience coordinators do and what Hard Trust, NSTA, and all the variations or byproducts of Hard Trust is engaged in. So I just want to greet all of you here gathered, the media. I think we are being streamed or beamed, I call it sometime. And so I am happy to greet those persons who are online. So please, exhibitors, photographer, not sure of the title, but your technical person, I want to just greet you all. All right, I want to start off probably on a light note. I recall when I see students mixed with teachers, I always remember something from school. And what I remember from school, St. Andrew Technical High School, is that long before women started to color their hair, we had a teacher who was bold. We didn't know at the time that she was a trendsetter, but she was a major trendsetter. She didn't just she colored her hair not in one color, but in multiple colors. And we the students at Stats, I don't think the students all around here do it, but we had a nickname for every teacher. And so for her, we called her a hawk. That's the only thing we could hawk. So as she paraded the compound, all she would hear is hawk, hawk. And that went on for many years, and she didn't catch us, but she kept reporting to the administrator, Isaac Henry, that we were calling her hawk. And one day she caught a young man red-handed. He got caught. And so she promptly, those days students, when you get caught, you don't say, it's not me, it wasn't me. Once the teacher catches you, it's you. And you had to abide by whatever the teacher said. So the teacher promptly took the student to the principal, Isaac Henry, and said, sir, I've been telling you for years now that the students have been calling me hawk, and it appears you did not believe me. Well, here it is, I've caught this young man red-handed calling me hawk. So of course the principal asked her to leave the room and that he will address the matter. So he walked. For those persons who know Isaac Henry, he was one of the tallest, stoutest person we know. Very powerful looking, a retired soldier, and so forth and so on. So he walked around the student a couple of times and he said, do you mean to tell me, young man, that you have been calling the teacher a hawk? And the young man with a trembling voice, sweaty palms, etc., said, yes, sir. And Isaac Henry said to him, I have just one thing to tell you. When you know the truth, please keep it to yourself. Now go back to your class. And that is how he ended the story. Honesty is important, isn't it? Very. Very important. I reflect also on my two schools. One of them was Hayes Primary and Junior High that I was principal, and the motto was aim high, choose wisely, persevere. And I think that's what I'd want to encourage the work experience coordinator to encourage his students to do. Aim high, choose wisely, persevere. And then at William Knibb, it was ignorance enslaves and knowledge liberates. And I think, of course, we want to encourage students in terms of knowledge. By extension, I want to say that the students who are preparing for the workforce tomorrow, one of the things I hope you edge in your mind is that we're not seeking to have them replace us. that if our goal and objective is for them to replace us, then we'll be doing them a grave injustice. It is for them to exceed our wildest imagination, outdo us, right? Make us look dunce, if you want to call it that, because that is how the world is going to evolve. And that has to be the case when you go to an airport and there's nobody pushing the wheelchair anymore to pick up somebody off the plane. The wheelchair is driving its own self and it doesn't bump into anybody and it knows. Or you go to a restaurant and you make your order and it's a robot that takes your meal and then says, have a good meal and thank you and wheels off. It happens, it's happening today. So things and times are changing, they're evolving. And I want for that to happen. One of the things that blocks learning, I don't know if you know it, is that we don't share enough of ourselves with our students. Our students see us and we pretend as if we were born big. That we never experienced poverty and that our clothes always look good as it looks today. We never have any darning of our clothing. And our shoes never lean at any point in time or have hole in the bottom. Children, that's not true. That's absolutely not true. We have gone through very trying times. We are just appearing now and having that look. So I'm saying to us that genuinely we must share ourselves with our students, our experiences, our difficulties, our downfalls. You don't have to give them the gory details like something I'm going to share with you now. Yeah, you mustn't do this. So I'm going to ask a genuine question and people are going to lie. People lie by omission, To the adults in the room, anybody ever do that themselves? You notice students, you don't see any hand going up? But I'm going to tell you the experience I had. I was going to a school near to Alpha Primary, just below Alpha Primary, I don't know the name. This one. And and it happened to me and my cousins. Now children are the worst, so my cousins, and at the time we took the Morning Star. You remember K-Sun, Morning Star? Those buses, yes. Anybody remember them?
Yes.
So I took it to Bull Bay. So I went on the bus in that state and my cousin was beside me. And for the entire journey, all he said to me is, Mark, you do it up yourself. And I had one response, eh? And he did that and we got to Harborview, we passed Rockford and he just kept on. Up to this day I have him up for it, and so forth and so on. But just to say, it's a light note, but just to say, students, we have your experiences too. We want you to talk to us and share with us. And I did say at the church service, Mr. Finnegan, that when I went on work experience, I learned that profession is not my profession. I actually went on electrical technology. And the amount of electric shocks I got, I said to myself, this is not for me. And sometimes when the students go to work experience, they actually discover that this job, this part, is not really for me. And I discovered that, I just want to commend the organization, and for the JTA, it's a kind of diversification of our brand and our image, and we're happy about this organization. We expect that you're going to be very surgical and tactical and clinical in advancing your own personal agenda, which is not dissimilar from our agenda. It's just that you are more cognizant of what it is that you're all about. I want for you to remember that branding is important, so consistency, relevance, and quality, maintaining the quality brand. You have started off with the quality. Madam President, one of the things I must say is that there's a great synergy. There's just this oneness, there's this unity, there's this family, and you have really started a great movement. And while I congratulate you today, I want to say to you very early, that every point of arrival is to be viewed as a point of departure. So you arrive today, it's all the fanfare, but you're going to depart to great things. And just to share with the students the story of Disney World and Walt Disney, and encourage you to read up that story. That's a gentleman that has had multiple failures, turned down multiple times, but he has created one of the greatest theme parks the world has ever seen. And at the opening, Madam President, someone went up to the microphone. By this time, he was deceased. And they said, you know, it's such a pity that Walt Disney did not live to see Disney World. And his wife quickly went up and bore the mic and said, you know, you're wrong. It is because he saw Disney World while we are here today. I want for you to see a bright future for our students, for our country, and for our nation. And it is what you do today that will allow that to be realized in the future. May God continue to bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Edwards and Dr. Nicely. We have heard some profound statements a while ago, some really impactful information was shared with us, and we give thanks. On that note, I just want to take a minute to recognize a personal group. Mr. Kanai. Mr. Kanai is from Region 5. He's a retired president, and he has labored hard for years in the vineyard, and he was very instrumental in helping us to register and form the National Association, and we're truly delighted to have you here with us, Mr. Kanai. Special welcome to you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow. And to the students and teacher from the Lister Mayor Gilby High School for the Deaf. Yes, they do work experience too, you know. And she's there signing for them, but we're going to invite her in a bit to come to the nearer front to sign for everyone, and so that the students can feel even more involved in what we're doing. Thank you so much. We're moving along with greetings. We're going to ask the representative, I think it's Ms. Gabrielle Owens from Infinity Cooperative Credit Union, and she'll be followed by Ms. Prudence Burrell from Jamaica Publishing House. Welcome.
Good morning everyone. It is a pleasure to be here.
We're happy to have you.
Thank you. Good morning to everyone from NAWIC, to the JTA, to the distinguished guests who are gathered here today. My name is Gabrielle Owens. I'm the branch manager of the UTech branch of Infinity Cooperative Credit Union, Jamaica Limited. For those who may not be familiar with this name and are wondering who is this new kid on the block, please allow me just a brief introduction. Infinity Cooperative Credit Union is the result of a merger between Educom and Gateway Cooperatives as at February the 1st, 2025. I stand here today as the representative of the second largest credit union on the island with 12 branches island-wide. I am here because we could not pass up the opportunity to support the JTA and NAWIC in this new and exciting chapter and this launch, and to showcase our support for enriching the youth of Jamaica through the actioning of your tagline, Bridging Education and Industry. Educom had a long history of service dedicated to our teachers and a long history of partnership with the JTA, both dating back to when A²M² opened its doors in 1960. In fact, we have partnered with the UWI and UTech campuses to provide scheme loans for the student body with a view to empower them to transition into the workforce without having to worry about the limitation of financing. We have also partnered with the Heart Trust NTA to welcome several persons into our doors to give them work experience, and oftentimes these persons have been able to transition into full-time work. We are happy to make similar arrangements with NAWIC to empower all the students you intend to reach. And so, we are happy to celebrate this day with you. Infinity Cooperative Credit Union Jamaica Limited wishes you every success, knowing that you have the brightest minds and the resources to make a positive and lasting impact. So we say a hearty congratulations again to NAWIC on this launch, and we look forward to the continued partnership and offering you the best solutions. Thank you so much.
Greetings, everyone. Great. I am indeed privileged to bring greetings to you on behalf of the Jamaica Publishing House Limited as we celebrate the official launch of the National Association of Work Experience Coordinators and the theme, Empowering Future Careers Through Work Experience. Can you repeat that? Great. I'm not sure how many persons here know about the Jamaica Publishing House, but we publish educational books for early childhood, secondary, and primary school educations. And you can stop at my booth to get some more information, okay? We encourage persons to write as well, and I must also say there's no cost. You pay nothing to the Jamaica Publishing House to publish your book. We only need your manuscript, yes? Mm-hmm. Yes. So you can stop by and we can give you some more information, yes. All right, so let me continue by acknowledging the presence of our esteemed guests, representatives from the Ministry of Education, the President of the National Association of Work Experience Coordinators, that's Mrs. Collis Perrett Selfie, the Secretary General of the Jamaica Teachers Association, Dr. Mark Nicely, principals, students, special invited guests, and all the dignitaries in attendance and also online. We are honored to have you here today. We at the Jamaica Publishing House are honored to be part of this important milestone. The work of the NOWEC experience aligned closely with our own mission to support education, inspire excellence, and invest in the development of Jamaica's future leaders. Do you in agreement with that? Great. The NOWEC is not just a complement to classroom learning. It is a critical bridge that prepares our students for the world beyond school gates. The Jamaica Publishing House Limited is proud to lend our support to this launch, both in presence and sponsorship. As you look around this room filled with passionate educators, policymakers, and promising students, let us be reminded that the work we do today will bear fruit tomorrow. Together, we are making a lasting impact. We encourage all participants to engage fully, share openly, and take away something that you can uplift not only yourself, but the communities you represent. Congratulations to NOWEC to end this historic launch. We wish you every success as you grow from strength to strength. Thank you.
And a big thank you to our sponsors and supporters as they come. This is very important to us, and we want you to know that we truly appreciate you. All right. So at this time, we'll have an item from Malia Robb from Kingston High. Make her welcome and comfortable, please. She comes to the mic. Thank you. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 1.
Check.
So as all technical support as those technical support prepares the mic for her. No? All right, so there's no other mic. That's it.
I wanna leave my footprints on the sands of time. Know that's something that I left behind. When I leave this world, I'll leave no regrets. There's something to remember, so that you won't forget I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone would know I was here. I wanna say I live each day until I die. Know that I have something left in somebody's life. The hearts I have touched will be the proof that I live, that I made a difference, and this world will see I was here. I did, I've done, I was here. I lived, I've loved everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone would know I was here. I lived, I've loved, I was here. I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone would know I was here. I just want them to know that I gave my all, did my best, brought someone some happiness, left this world a little better just because I was here.
Beautiful. Thank you, Malio. Beautiful rendition. And at this time, we'll hear from our own president, the first president of NAWEC, Mrs. Collis Peart Selvin. Put your hands together for her. Madam Chairperson, Ms. Samuels, PRO for NAWEC. Other members of the NAWEC executive, inclusive of Mr. Kanai, our retired president. Other distinguished coordinators here with us, work experience coordinators, that is. Regional directors, and in particular Mrs. Forbes Hall from Region 6. Senior Education Officer from Region 6 as well, Mrs. Fiona Morris Webb. Miss Julia Edwards, Lead Technical Development Officer from the Ministry of Education.
Now, today marks an important milestone in the lives of every Jamaican who has and will walk the trusses, beams, or girders of the work experience bridge that is provided newly formed association. This formation is being guided by the theme Empowering Future Careers Through Work Experience. And it certainly aims to create a supportive network that provides and promotes learning, mentorship, and career education across various industries. And this will happen through shared knowledge and collective insight. The association aims to empower its members to navigate the evolving world of work experiences with confidence and resilience. Now, work experience is not new to the Jamaican education system, but has been in existence since 1965, where it has played an increasingly vital role in secondary education. Now, this reflected a global shift at that time towards integrating practical skills with academic learning. The development of work experience programs has been largely driven by the national education reforms aimed at addressing youth unemployment, bridging skills gaps, and aligning education with labor market demands. Therefore, the Ministry of Education, through its Curriculum Development Unit, began systematically integrating technical, vocational education and training, which we refer to as TVET, supported by institutions such as Heart Trust. And this approach ensured that students graduated with both academic knowledge as well as practical hands-on skills. Now, this continued throughout the years, facilitating partnerships between schools and local businesses, which allowed for a structured work placement for students in grades 10 and 11. Now, in 2014, a revised work experience program manual was approved and circulated to all secondary schools which had the program. This document redefined the role of the educator overseeing the work experience program from work experience teacher to work experience coordinator. And so the manual really emphasizes our role as being program managers who provide training for the students while establishing and maintaining community and business partnerships, as well as monitoring each child while they are out on work experience throughout the school year. Now, many dedicated educators have championed the program, and one such pioneer was Mrs. Beverly Miller. And that is why Mr. Donald Miller is here today, because she, who was the work experience coordinator at Central High School up until her retirement, at a meeting some many years ago at Canewood Center in Kingston, passionately advocated for a more structured program, as well as more unity amongst coordinators. Now, her efforts led to the coordinators feeling so much more energized and focused, and many of you who are sitting here can relate to that and was there. So, being more focused on their task, which impacted the establishment of several new regions, regional chapters they were called, including the Clarendon and Region 6 chapter, both of which she led as president. Now, Mrs. Miller also orchestrated and hosted the first work experience certification ceremony, and this was held at Central High School, where students who successfully completed their work experience were certified. Now, it's important that I mention and that you note that in any given year, at least 35% of these students who are sent out on work experience gain permanent employment. And over 39% gain temporary employment at the very same institution or organization to which they were attached or placed on work experience. And I think that that deserves a round of applause. So work experience affects lives, it changes lives. And at this point, I recall one young lady who was in a wheelchair at our school since about 5 years old. She received a gunshot to the spine as a child and was in a wheelchair. And I remember when she got to grade 11 and I sat down and I said to myself, she works very hard. I didn't put that in her. She was quite an ambitious young lady, but very shy, and you can imagine. And I sat and had the conversation with her and I said to her, I am placing you on work experience. And she laughed till she almost fell out of the chair. And I said, no, you are going. And I would have placed her at the Parish Council Poor Relief Office in Maypan. And for a particular reason, because they're very soft and very responsive and caring. And that's one of the jobs that work experience coordinators do. We don't just identify a company and say, oh, you are in mechanic or you are cosmetology or business, and just place you there. We would observe the students' personality and attitude, shortfalls and issues, and place them at an institution that will not only give them the work experience, but allow them to blossom. And so that experience really becomes a positive one. And of course, taking into consideration what Dr. Nicely said, because we tend to forget that work experience does open the minds to also recognize that this is not for me. And that's important, that's a good thing, it wasn't a bad thing. I remember placing a student in automotive technology, repairs, and the young man is allergic to all the different types of oils, and even when he was putting on gloves. And so he said, Miss, I am going to branch off. Work experience did that. He would have gone through his entire life and would have committed to that aspect or that career, and then at the late stage would have discovered the challenge. So work experience is multifaceted, and as I said, it affects lives and it does create future careers to be stable. So back to this young lady. She went to work, and of course we had to monitor her completely differently. But that young lady worked and asked for more work. And can you imagine? She was certified because she did extremely well. And that young lady, today she's overseas, and she constantly makes reference to the fact that work experience opened her mind to the fact that she had a future. She was studying, but in her mind she didn't see herself going out. And so I believe that deserves a round of applause for our work experience coordinators, pushing beyond the challenges. Now, I would have mentioned that Mrs. Miller was spearheading most of the energizing discussions that would have stimulated work experience coordinators to get back on track when they were feeling a little bit down. And she was actually the individual who called me when I was expressing interest that an association needs to be formed. And she really gave me a good word and propelled me to definitely push and to get for this association with the support and assistance of the Clarendon chapter. Can I ask the representatives of the Clarendon chapter to just stand at this time for me? Can we give them a I must mention that Mrs. Bonswell, who did the devotion, a number of them are actually upstairs assisting with a number of different aspects of our launch today. But I want you to remain standing. Now, a new dawn came in 2020 when the Clarendon chapter took the bold initiative to coordinate an all-island association. And it was their dedication that laid the foundation for what is now called the National Association of Work Experience Coordinators, which now consists of 7 regional chapters across the island. I must emphasize wholeheartedly that the Ministry of Education, thank you so much, my partners, has played a pivotal role in supporting the work experience coordinators. And this comes because they really provided technical development officers with responsibility for work experience for all of these regions. And the truth of the matter is, there were times when we weren't sure exactly who we were, reporting to, and we kind of felt a little, but the ministry responded. And so they deserve a round of applause. And I know Miss Julia Edwards, along with the other representatives from the Ministry of Education here today, will take back that thanks. Now, in particular, I want to recognize Miss Julia Edwards, Lead Technical Development Officer, who has been an advocate for work experience throughout the years.
Champion.
Say that again, yes.
Champion.
Sorry, we don't have some music, Having been part of the Technical Vocational Education and Training Unit for many years before she transitioned to the ministry's position that she's in. And Miss Edwards, Miss, your support has been consistent and invaluable from the very beginning. And I realize that your team of TDOs have been actively driving the supervision of the program across the island and the various regions. So we are really grateful to you and the Ministry of Education for your continued support, Madam. Now, despite the many successes, it would be remiss of me not to mention that the program has and still faces a number of challenges. For some areas, depending on the parish, the community, we still experience limited placement opportunities. We're encouraging all businesses to get on board because so far we still need more support from businesses in some regions. We are also mindful that there are a number of administrators who are yet to come on board fully, and we're looking forward to their understanding and their support in the various schools so that the program can continue and even exceed expectations in those schools. Now, NAWEC is also mindful that a number of our coordinators need to be re-inspired based on their varying circumstances. NAWEC, our aim is to counter all of these challenges through advocacy, collaboration, and most importantly, through professional development for our coordinators. So this, we hope, will stimulate and strengthen the call for a more robust work experience framework and a collective effort and vision so that work experience can become a cornerstone of education in all Jamaican secondary schools, not just some, whether it be traditional or non-traditional schools. I believe that calls for a clap. Yes. And so, on that premise, we want to remind everyone that work experience is not an extracurricular or a co-curricular. It is part of the curriculum. And I would have mentioned that the Ministry of Education would have implemented this in our schools. And so I really want to connect to everyone, administrator, teacher, everyone across the island in the education system, to understand that we're not extra, we're not co, we are embedded in the curriculum. And we must be allowed to function in that way in order to send out individuals who are fully ready, yes, for the world of work. So I take this opportunity also very wholeheartedly to express appreciation to the Jamaica Teachers Association for their steadfast support in guiding the formation of NARWEC. From the very first question about how do I go about this association, to the various steps taken in order to make the establishment of the association possible, and most importantly, by being one of our very main sponsors for today's launch. I think they deserve a round of applause. I most certainly want to highlight to the Secretary General, Dr. Mark Nicely, in particular. Sir, you have provided inspiration, leadership, and I'm standing up here like I'm counting with math.
Amen.
Come on. Providing inspiration, leadership. From the very first meeting we had in St. Anne, coordinators were inspired by you, sir. Because we know what we want and we know where we wanted to go. But when you appeared on the scene and started to talk about where it is that we would go today, many years ago, give them a round of applause. We were all inspired, and you can see the fruits of your inspiration today. You were present again in Montego Bay, and today is just a full circle moment of how supportive you have been. So I want to ask all executive members of NARWEC to stand at this time. I hope I can see all of you. And to include Mr. Kanai. All right, I was hoping by now the others would have come into the group.
They were already standing.
All right, very good. Give them a round of applause. So we have 7 regional chapters, and each chapter is spearheaded by a president who is a coordinator and is also responsible to ensure that we continue to do well across each region. And the interest of NARWEC is not to bad up anybody. Our interest is to really energize, stimulate, and encourage individuals to do well at your craft that you're already doing well at. Yes? So I want to publicly say how grateful I am to all of you for your continued support. Showing up to meetings. Sometimes we would meet at 7 p.m. on Google Meet just to ensure that all the presidents got home and we were able to speak. So today, looking fancy, but it has been a rough road of getting everybody together and being in sync. But the fact that it has happened tells me that I have a bright future. All our coordinators have a bright future doing what you do, and it's for you to just support us. So today marks the manifestation of hard work and dedication. The journey continues, ladies and gentlemen, and today simply reverberates that new dawn, whereas a newly formed National Association of Work Experience Coordinators, it is our mandate to strive for success of the Work Experience Program. And how do we do that? By bridging education and industry, and ultimately empowering future careers through our craft. I thank you.
Thank you, President. We appreciate you too. Yes. And so, yes, well done. At this time, we are winding down, and we're getting there nicely. At this moment, we'll call on the Secretary of NARWEC, very energetic, hard-working Yendine Nunes, to come and introduce the guest speaker, President of Region 6. You see how them load and full Right, and after that, the next voice that you will hear is that of the guest speaker, who she will introduce.
Good morning, everyone. All protocols observed. It is my distinct honor to introduce our keynote speaker. He is a powerhouse in education, a champion for workforce development, and a fearless crusader for technical and vocational education and training. With over 25 years of leadership across government, academia, and industry, he has done everything. He teaches everything from statistics to project management. Basically, if it's got a syllabus, he can teach it. He has been at the forefront of national transformation through education. He has served in several high-impact roles, including National Director of TVET at the Ministry of Education and Senior Director of Workforce Development at Heart Trust NTA. His leadership has helped shape key national initiatives such as the expansion of the Portmore Heart Academy in partnership with the Brazilian government. He has spearheaded the development of Jamaica's TVET policy, led the transition of Nakalvia from an agricultural school to a polytechnic college, and the reintroduction of Jamaica's registered apprenticeship program. He is currently a lecturer at both the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean and the University of Technology, Jamaica, where he imparts knowledge in areas ranging from TVET policy to project management. His academic credentials are as impressive as his service, holding degrees and diplomas from institutions in Jamaica and the UK, and multiple professional certifications. He continues to serve on several educational boards and national committees, all while being a committed community leader and a Justice of the Peace for the parish of St. Catherine. Above all, he's a man of vision, purpose, and principle, dedicated to empowering individuals and building a stronger, more skilled nation through TVET. When he's not shaping national education policies or running board meetings, he's leading in his church, solving conflicts, managing projects, and somehow still finding time to be husband to Lorna and dad to Zane and Zeta. Please join me in welcoming the man who probably scheduled this address between 3 board meetings and a lecture, Mr. Denworth R. Finkel.
Good morning, everyone. It's afternoon?
It's afternoon. Just, sir, just.
Just.
It's okay, you're good, you're okay.
Okay. I will have prepared a presentation. I'm trying to look for it. And I had it just now. All right. Until I find it, I really want to acknowledge our chairperson, Miss Joyce Samuels, our national president, Mrs. Collis Peart Selvin, our secretary. Thank you for that kind words of introduction. If ever I plan to run for an office, I will invite you to do the presentation. Thank you. All other members of the National Association of Work Experience Coordinators, the lady from the region that inspires and nurtures greatness, Which region is that?
Region 1.
6.
Region 1. Only Julia. That's right.
Oh. Mrs. Forbes Hall, it seems that many regions want to adopt the mantra from Region 6. So I want to acknowledge Mrs. Forbes Hall, Region 6 Director, Miss Fiona Morris Webb, Senior Officer, and all of the members of the Region 6 team. Miss Julia Edwards. I don't believe that there could be a more competent person
Not at all.
leading this charge.
That is right. True. True.
You know, I worked with Miss Edwards in TVET, and I find her to be very competent, very visionary. I also want to acknowledge our team, Eileen, and I don't want to call all the names. No, Alice is my TDO, Renice, Miss Baker, Latoya. You see, I know them. One is missing. What is that? Avril Campbell. From? Oh, High Faith, yes. I also want to recognize Dr. Mark Nicely. The work experience program ensure you have a great leader of the teachers in Jamaica. Electrical was not his thing. I'm still looking for Anjali, my friend. Your partners, Infinity, Cooperative Credit Union, Jamaica Publishing House, principals, I've seen a number of them in attendance. Mr. Arians, Mr. Pitt, and others, and vice principals, work experience coordinators. Put your hands together for yourself. Other partners in education, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I keep saying morning. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. You know, I'm here because I believe in your theme, empowering futures, empowering future careers through work experience. And why do I say this? Yesterday I was in Montego Bay, and the reason why I was there is because I manage a project in Montego Bay that has a work experience component that is built into it. This program is designed to train persons who are unattached. It is sponsored by TUI Academy, Jamaica, parent company in Germany. They provide the funding, not bad funding, but these are youngsters who would have dropped out of school, in many regards, dropped out of school. They don't like Dean of Discipline, they don't like guidance counselors. Some of them 19, 20 with 2 and 3 kids. And the program that I designed is to have them in the classroom either 2 days per week, and in the industry 3 days, or 2 months in the classroom and 2 months in the industry. And yesterday was a proud moment. I was drawn to tears to hear persons who were shy, who just give trouble, graduating, getting their jobs. Of that program, yesterday, eligible for graduation, well, the cohort was 50, 45 persons were eligible for graduation. And out of the 45, 42 got jobs within the first month. They graduate with, I would say, 5 qualifications. They pass the hard trust test, that's one, the first one. They get a digital badge. I hope you know what's a digital badge. Yes. So they can show their certificate on the phone from TUI in Germany. They got Team Jamaica, they work in the hospitality sector, Team Jamaica. It's a customer service training by TPDCO. They got the NCT vet job cert, whether it's in tour guiding, range cook, housekeeping, or food and beverage server. and finally a joint certificate. So they came to us with nothing, and their resume has 5 qualifications to show. And you know, when they addressed themselves, they said, "I'm a chef." You know, that's why I keep doing these things. No, when I was selecting, well, not me, when my daughter and I were, when we were selecting university, she did well. It wasn't difficult to get into university, but she wanted a program that would offer good experience while studying and a good degree. And the one that we finally decided on, she's doing actuarial science, is one that she'll do 2 years, year 1, year 2, and then go and do an internship for 1 year and return the final year to complete her degree, because I believe in work experience. She now completes 2 years, and so she's going to start the work experience in the 29th of this month in London. All right, so I've prepared something here, and you didn't believe me that it just wiped away from the screen. So let me see how much I can remember about it. The theme, empowering future careers through work experience, is not just timely, it is mission critical. And so the challenge is we're standing at a historic crossroad where the global market is transforming at unprecedented speed. COVID-19 pandemic disrupted the entire sectors. And so some jobs disappeared overnight. And now we end up with 3 types of workers really. The displaced one, essential workers, and remote workers. In Jamaica, young people are graduating into an uncertain world. One where adaptability, digital fluency, and work readiness are important as academic achievements. And so we must prepare our students not just for jobs, but for sustainable, meaningful careers in this rapidly evolving world. The answer to all those challenges lies with you today at this launch, the National Work Experience Program. Because the National Work Experience Program is designed to bridge the gap between education and employment. It does so through partnerships from school, students, and industry. This program allows students to test their career interests, like Dr. Nicely, apply academic learning in real-world settings, develop professional habits, gain the confidence to enter the workforce with clarity. As someone who would have worked in workforce development and TVET over many years, I believe that this initiative is a game changer. It is indeed a game changer. You see, we live in a world where there is white-collar jobs, there are blue-collar jobs, but there is no new-collar jobs. And you're going to have to research that. New-collar jobs are jobs that doesn't require necessarily a 4-year college degree. It's technical in nature. It involves critical thinking, and you need certification. Some of those jobs are like cyber security technician, renewable energy installer, drone operator, health records analyst, cloud support specialist, digital marketers. Those are the jobs that are new collar, that our children are moving towards. They don't want to work 30, 40 years and get a gold watch and go and sit down. They are in the gig economy. And so some of the jobs that the World Economic Forum lists as emerging jobs are artificial intelligence specialists. We need prompt engineers, yes, and you can Google that what it is. Robotics engineers, sustainability analysts, digital transformation managers, process automation specialists. While we need those, there are some that are going out, and you know them. Data entry clerk, administrative assistants, telemarketers, postal service clerk, assembly line, and I could go on and on. But across the globe, workforce development, we here in Jamaica call, say TVET. In America they say career and technical education. It's really the same thing. There are some other countries that call it workforce training. But TVET institutions globally, and I say globally, are experiencing strong demand from students that are eager to acquire a marketable skill. I mean, here in Jamaica, we have Vision 2030 that speaks to Goal 1, speaks to empowering all Jamaicans. Goal 2, Outcome 2 rather, speak to a world-class education system. And so we who are in education know that we must empower our people if we are going to become a developed country by 2030. If you just Google what is happening, even in the States, there are many TVET institutions that have to set up a lottery system to select students because the waiting list is getting longer and longer. And you know, for me, this is transformation in front of my very eyes. I remember when I started this crusade a long time ago, TVET was seen as a second choice, right? But now it is taking pride of place. The popularity of TVET programs reflect a growing recognition among youth and their families that skill-based training is often faster, more affordable, and equally respected pathway to economic stability when compared to traditional education. Countries such as Germany, Singapore, Finland have demonstrated a robust TVET system that can lead to a stronger employment outcome, industrial competitiveness, and social mobility. The National Work Experience Program must expose students to today's and tomorrow's work reality, not yesterday's reality. Right here in Jamaica, we faced a paradox. And the paradox is that we have a labor shortage. We have jobs without people, and we have people without jobs. We call that structural unemployment. And so there is shortage in construction, in hospitality, in healthcare and IT. Yet many of our young people remain unemployed and underprepared. Too many students leave school without the soft skills, the exposure or understanding to real work. And this is why your role is so important, because when someone placed on work experience for 160 hours, or if you can get more, 180. I was hoping it's a month. When a student is placed on work experience for 2 weeks, you don't find them applying for jobs and saying they want anything. They tend to have a fair idea of what they want, what they like, what they don't like. And so the National Work Experience Program offers a solution. It provides early exposure to the real work, to the world of work, practical insights into workplace expectations, and a pathway to the national apprenticeship program. Your program that you administer, it improves students' motivation. Am I correct? It reduces dropouts. And it aligns education with real labor market needs. When we look what is happening globally in the international marketplace, let's look at, say, well, the International Labour Organization, the ILO. The ILO identifies best practices in work-based learning, which they refer to as structural supervision. Students must be guided by a qualified mentor. I know we're not there yet, but we accept all the places we get. There must be clear learning objectives. Each placement must have defined outcomes, written agreements between students, school, and employers, health and safety and protection policies to safeguard students, feedback and assessment to inform continuous improvements. And that's from the ILO. But when we look elsewhere, yes, I know there's a manual, and I know there's a revised job description, you know, and I know that the reports are sent up to the TDOs now. Yes. I remember being in the ministry, and nobody was sure who was to receive them. And when they were being received by the ministry, the TechVoc unit, they didn't know what to do with them. Anybody remember those days?
Sure.
So, you know, I'm overjoyed to be here to see what is happening. Now, TVET training, when done right, is built on 3 integral pillars. And you are playing that role. 1, the career advisement. 2, the skills training. And importantly, the industry attachment. Because career advisement ensures that students understand their aptitudes and align their training choices with industry needs. The technical training component equips them with the core competence required for the chosen field. And the industry attachment, where you are critical, whether it be through internships, apprenticeship, work experience, whatever you call it. It is to bridge the gap between classroom learning and the real world of work. And this is what makes the model of education a holistic model in producing work-ready graduates. And so the principles clearly align with your mandate. If we look at the United Kingdom, that our education system is really a replica of it, although they have moved on while we are still struggling. In the UK, there is the 8 Gatsby benchmark. I don't know if you have, I hope, if you have not, I'm going to ask you to Google those. GATSBY. All of us in here should read those 8 benchmarks because it defines excellence in work experience. One of the things that it guides the UK on is to say every student should have at least 1 meaningful work experience by age 16 and another by age 18. And so the TDOs who are here, Ms. Edwards, would be quite mindful to ensure that grade 12 and 13 students are also going on work experience to finish that additional 80 hours, to make it 120. The Gatsby benchmark also speaks to the fact that students should understand career pathways in different sectors. In America, it's not Gatsby, it is Perkins. And Perkins' model advocate 16 career clusters and 81 career pathways. Here in Jamaica, we just have 5 TechVoc areas which need to be revamped and look at areas that are more sexy for the young people, and I hope that we'll get there. So America is about the Perkins, and you can read this in the Perkins model rule, and the Gatsby in the UK. It also speaks to the fact that employer engagement, employers should be involved in curriculum development. If we look at the Australian model, which to me is one of the best, if not the best, it demonstrates how workforce education, TVET, certification and school-based learning can coexist. They have a dual model, like in Germany, that you can decide to go on a straight academic path or a TVET pathway. In China is big now on TVET, and that's what they're advocating. Your role as coordinators, you are the navigator of a national journey. You play a pivotal role in identifying and preparing students for work exposure. You also must match students with the right opportunities. As I listened to Madam President speak about that young girl that uses a wheelchair. She wasn't wheelchair bound, she uses a wheelchair. And how somebody just looking at and believing her open great possibilities. Yes? And so you must match students with the right opportunities. Monitor progress and ensure quality experience, and collaborate with employers and educators. Work experience coordinators, your role is to be the link between internal and external. So you must have an interest in what is going on, what is being taught by, at the school, and to know what is happening in the workplace. And you are placed to provide guidance in tweaking the curriculum. Because when you graduate from high school, there are 4 possible catchment, I call them. 1, you would matriculate into university, or you would start your business, or you would get employment. And sadly, there is also the unattached youth. Yes? We have to ensure that we eliminate that 4th category and ensure that all the students that are completing high school will either go on to post-secondary education, find a job, or create their own employment. And create their own employment is critical, because we were brainwashed to believe that we must only go to school, get a good education, and join the line to get a job. And if everybody joined the line to get a job, the question is, who's going to prepare the jobs for us to get? I mean, that's changing. The young people I interact with now, they're going to universities, and they have their own business, and they're earning. In short though, what I'm saying to you is that work experience coordinators, you're the bridge between the classroom and the economy. You are the bridge. Your success will definitely influence Jamaica's productivity. Why do I say this? We have lagged behind our Caribbean neighbors for almost 50 years. Our productivity is very low. We go in the banks and we find tellers who wanted to be nurses and so forth. Unless we can match training to job, our productivity not going to improve. Are you with me, colleagues? So the work you do, you're standing between the classroom and our economy. The new world of work recognize an ecosystem of work. Today, jobs are remote. Virtual customer support, that's big. Digital sales, coding. Our young people are in the gig economy. If you have teenagers or young adults, you usually turn the TV off on them, but they don't mind now, because they don't turn it on. As long as they have the telephone, and they believe that Wi-Fi should be like free as air. Why is Wi-Fi not here? As a matter of fact, if you have any family members coming over to you, youngsters, make sure when they reach the gate, you show them where the Wi-Fi password is. they have created the gig economy, which really is an economy about freelancing. So I'm saying to you, work experience coordinators, yes, you're looking at workstation, but you must also expose them to online platforms like Fiverr. Anybody know Fiverr? You know Fiverr. You can write it on Google it, right? Upwork, Freelancer, Uber Eats. Because employment nowadays is not only a workstation, but a remote platform or a space. I know some of them know it more than us because they're born with their finger like this. But we have to also get them connected with that. Our students must understand this landscape, that they must learn how to manage their own careers. It's sickening that after 5 years, a youngster would want a job, and I try to assist every time. What do you like to do? Anything. You ever get that yet? Anything. And you know what to say. What do you like? What are you passionate about? Or what did you do in school? To kind of channel them. If we have Mrs. Sophia Foxhall, the 180 high schools and the work experience program, we will reduce the uncertainty of some of these youngsters leaving school not knowing what they want to do. Right? We must expose these students to how to navigate flexibility and how to pursue lifelong learning. Work, as I said, is no longer a place. It is a platform. And so there must be deliberate policy and strategic investment. In other words, curriculum reform must be embedded with competency base or work or project base. And in fairness to the ministry, the new standards curriculum tried to address that with project-based learning coming from as early as grade 4, business basics and those things. I hope it is being implemented correctly. In terms of policy, and why I say that is because our teachers were not exposed to some of these things. And we tend to fall back into our default zone. And unless the system is monitored, yes, unless you have a regional director like mine, you know, we ensure that the reports coming right from the school is aligned to the school improvement plan and the national priorities. It will not be done. Policy-wise, we need to provide incentive for employers who owe students for work experience. The basic thing we can do is to have a certificate to acknowledge them, or a little plaque, or if you find the funds, just invite them to come in and you have a little, I said dinner, but whatever you call it, just to say thanks. You know, you can't be using their workspace year in, year out, and they don't have anything on their wall to show that they're in partnership with you. Or you don't call them to allow the principal to meet them and for them to talk, you know. I'm going to close, but I want to make a call to action. Or I want to challenge you to let us ensure that every student leaves school not just with a certificate, but with a clear sense of purpose, a career pathway, and the skills and mindset to succeed. Let us strengthen school-based industry partnerships, build a culture of work readiness, create a generation that is not afraid of change, but ready to lead. The youth of today must not only be trained, but inspired, not just placed, but be prepared. I want to thank you for inviting me, and may we all rise to the challenge and empower the future of Jamaica, one student, one opportunity, one experience, work experience at a time. Thank you.
So coordinators, as we have reflected on what our guest speaker has said today, he has reminded us that we are the navigator of the national journey. We are the opener of great opportunities and possibilities for our students. We are supposed to be the link between internal and external stakeholders, and we must provide guidance in the tweaking of the curriculum, because we would have been exposed to the needs and the changes of the landscape in education as we serve in this capacity. Let us put our hands together for Mr. Finucane one more time. Thank you, At this time, there's a special presentation to be made, and we're going to call upon our president, Mrs. Selvin Peart, to come and lead the charge in this. Mrs. Peart Selvin, to lead the charge in this area. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we will put our hands together and welcome Mr. Donald Miller. Do we have anything to go down? Any microphone to go down?
Yes. Can we have a portable mic, please? A cordless?
Mr. Miller, thank you so much for coming, and your sister supporting you here today. Now, Mrs. Miller, she wasn't the only person who was working hard towards getting an association formed. But let me tell you one of the main reasons we're recognizing her and why you are here. Mrs. Miller is one of those individuals, she's very down to earth. I don't need to tell you that. So let me turn my attention to you. Very down to earth individual. But she was a very strong individual. Very outspoken. And an individual who liked to see things happen a certain way. And she wasn't afraid to share this. And in her mind, things then are going good with work experience coordinators. Things then are going good in terms of the structuring and how everything was unfolding. And some of which would have been mentioned from various speakers before in relation to who do we submit our reports to? What kind of feedback are we getting so that we can grow? And so she was indeed special because she was just bouncing off the wall. And if you're in her company, it would infect you. And when I joined the program in 2013, I would have succeeded her at Central High School. Big up to Central High School. And my principal over there, acting principal, Mrs. Rach. Oh, thank you. Come on. All right. I would have heard from all different regions that I would come in contact with about this lady, Mrs. Miller. And the fact that she would have inspired them one way or the other, and would have affected real change in relation to how we would have operated. Even after her retirement, she would have asked me, Selvin, walk on. And I would have said to her, Miss, I want to get things going. And she said, Selvin, just get up and do it. Get up and do it. No long talking. Just get up and do it. And the Clarendon chapter, who would have been infected by her closely over the years, were very much supportive. And so today, I think it's very important because the truth is, I wanted to invite Mrs. Miller and surprise her after we were formally registered. We started getting things going right after COVID, and it was a challenge getting persons, you know, to just meet and get things going. And so we have been putting things together since 2020. And right before we were registered in April 2024, she would have passed. And I can tell you, it hit me, not just her passing, but the fact that I wanted to surprise her. I wanted to invite her to the function and not even tell her what it was about. So she would be very proud of us. But nonetheless, you were her partner, her best friend. And you were part of the reason, Mr. Miller, she used to walk into Central High just beaming every morning. And so it is in order that you accept this. And it says National Association of Work Experience Coordinators, Bridging Education and Industry wishes to pay tribute to the late Mrs. Beverly Miller, President, Work Experience Clarendon, Chapter and Region 6, for being the formidable pioneer for work experience and setting the platform for the formation of NAWEC. It says that she will always be in our hearts. Okay, sir? So I want you to always stay close to us and just to turn it around. And so can we give Mr. Miller a round of applause because he thought it was important to come today and receive this tribute. Thank you so much, sir. Can I get a hug? Thank you so much.
And
Yes,
thank
yes,
you wholeheartedly. Okay?
Yes. Thank you, sir.
By way of announcement, we're asking the owner or driver of a blue BMW X5, license plate number 8343JW, to attend to your vehicle as the matter might be very
Somebody's going to move it from there.
Okay. Right. So if you're inside here, quickly, you might be blocking an emergency vehicle that needs to leave or so. Please attend to your vehicle. Thank you so much. Okay. Before we move on, I'd like to invite Mr. Finnegan, our guest speaker, back to the podium, and I'd like to call our treasurer, Mrs. Lacan, Mrs. Diane Lacan, to come to the mic as well for a very special presentation. Yes, sir. You may come.
Mr. Finnegan.
Come on. Yes, we're hearing you, darling. Loud and nice.
On behalf of NAWEC.
Push it. Turn it. Is the mic on? My technical support. Right, it's on now. Yes. Come over. Thank you. Come over and
Mr. Finnegan, on behalf of NAWEC, we wholeheartedly thank you for being here today at our association's launch. Your thoughtfulness, your speech was very thoughtful, impactful, and we thank you once again for being here with us.
Look this way.
Thank you, Ms. Lacan. On the heels of that, we'll ask Mr. Lambert, our Assistant Treasurer, that's the Assistant Treasurer for NAWEC, to take the mic, and we'll also invite Miss Julia Edwards. Region 1, let's hear it from Miss Julia Edwards. Thank you so much. So take. Thank you so much.
Ms. Edwards, on behalf of the National Association of Work Experience Coordinators, want to say thank you for taking the time out to be with us and to grace us with your presence. Being the eloquent speaker you have, we know that you could definitely be somewhere else to speak with clarity, and we definitely want to thank you. Thanks for reminding us that education without practical application is incomplete. The seed that you sow today will definitely bear fruit, and as work experience coordinators, we will continue to bridge the gap between education and industry.
Yes, please.
This way. Ms. Guthrie, our assistant PRO, Mrs. Guthrie, will ask you kindly to do a presentation to Dr. Mark Nicely for us, please. Thank you. I figure she might be upstairs dealing with other matters of the association. And so, Ms. Bonswell, we're going to ask you please to do the honors for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It is with pride today that I stand here to express our appreciation to Dr. Nicely. Being a member of the exec, we would have been privy to a lot of information as it relates to the involvement of JTA with the association, and believe me, Dr. Nicely, you have run a good leg in terms of the support, 100% support from the Jamaica. Oh yeah, we're doubling it up. Yes, and we are eternally grateful, sir, and I'm telling you that this will be etched in the annals of time, that you would have supported the venture, and today would not have been possible without you being the driving force behind the exit. There are days when we kind of lost in getting up and going, but you were just the driving force there to encourage us. I watched you at the launch in Montego Bay. You sat there for the duration of the service. You supported us, and we want to just let you know that we are very appreciative of all that you have done to this point, and that the Jamaica Teachers Association will continue to provide that kind of support to the work experience coordinator. We're eternally grateful, sir. So on behalf of all of us, we just want to present you with this little plaque, just to remind you that you were here with us and that you would have supported us wholeheartedly. God bless you in all your endeavors.
Thank you, Pastor Bonswell. Sorry, Mrs. Bonswell.
It is. It's correct.
Thank you, Dr. Nicely. All right, so we have 2 items to go. Well, before we do the vote of thanks, so I'll ask Ms. Douglas, President for Region
Assistant Secretary.
Assistant Secretary, right. Executive Member and Assistant Secretary to come and move the vote of thanks for us. So while she's on her way, I just want to remind us, for those of us who were not paying attention much to what's happening on the outside, that each region was tasked to display a specific skill. Yes, so Region 1 is displaying visual arts out there. Region 2, building technology. Where's the president for Region 2? Mr. Graham, Mr. Derek Graham. Put your hands together for the president and their team, of course. Region 3, cosmetology. President for Region 3.
That's Mrs. Guthrie.
Mrs. Guthrie is upstairs, right. Region 4, carpentry. President for Region 4, identify yourself. Bless you, Mrs. Lacan and Mr. Is that Mr. Lambert?
No,
Mr.
just Lacan.
Miss Lacan. Hard working Miss Lacan. Thank you, Miss. Region 5, agriculture. President for Region 5, identify yourself. No, that is Mr.
Lambert.
Mr. Lambert. I'm getting it. Thank you, sir. Region 6, foods, nutrition and health. You don't have to ask who it is. She looks well fed. Bless yourself. Come on, give it up for Region 6. Foods, nutrition and health. And Region 7, mechanical engineer. President of Region 7.
Amen.
Bless you. And of course, yours truly, President of Region 1. With that said, when you go outside, please look at the different areas, ask the questions, encourage, especially the students you will see out there. The journey is long, but we're in it for the long haul. Miss Douglas, the vote of thanks.
Master of Ceremonies, esteemed guests, distinguished colleagues, and our generous sponsors, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. To extend our deepest gratitude for your support and participation in the launch of the National Association of Work Experience Coordinators. Thank you. I must first give credit to our guest speaker, Mr. Denworth Finnekin, who is indeed a champion for workforce development. Your words have resonated with us, and I do believe you have inspired us to empower future careers through the work experience involvement. Thank you. Then we must show our gratitude to all the persons who brought greetings, including Lead TDO, Technical Development Officer from the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, Mrs. Julia Edwards. Also, Dr. Mark Nicely, our Secretary General from the Jamaica Teachers Association, and our Mr. Dorian Dixon for sorting out all the semantics and esteemed sponsors. Also, we are bigging you up. Infinity Cooperative Credit Union, Tip Friendly Society, and Jamaica Publishing House. Our major sponsor, of course, the JTA, who also accommodated us. Please give them a round of applause. Your presence here today signifies the importance of collaboration in advancing educational and career opportunities for our youth. In continuing, we extend thanks to everyone who participated in the program. Mrs. Spencer Bonswell, who so aptly conducted devotion. Thank you, ma'am. Mrs. Pert Selvin, our president. Mr. Derek Graham, our vice president. Mrs. Samuels, public relations officer. Mrs. Nunez, our secretary, and of course, Mrs. Lacan, Mr. Lambert, Mrs. Guthrie, and the entire team. Miss Malaya Robb, we thank you for that beautiful tree. Kudos to Kingston High. It would be remiss of me not to mention our education officers, principals, esteemed executives, and other valued members of Jamaica Teachers Association. Your investment in this vision reinforces your dedication to the growth and development of education in Jamaica. To our distinguished guests, work experience coordinators, teachers, and students, your commitment to fostering meaningful work experience opportunities is truly commendable. Your contributions shape the future of education and empower students to transition seamlessly into the workforce. A heartfelt thank you to the technical team and all the hands that prepared refreshments or otherwise worked behind the scenes to make this initiative possible. Thank you very much. As we embark on this journey, let us continue to work together, inspire innovations, and create lasting impacts to our students and communities. This launch marks the beginning of an era where work experience is not just a requirement, but a transformative tool for success. Once again, thank you all for your unwavering support, commitment, and presence here today. May we move forward in unity and purpose, ensuring a brighter future for generations to come. Thank you.
So we have come to the end of a beautiful occasion, one that we will remember for a very, very long time. The launch of the National Association of Work Experience Coordinators, bridging education and industry. With that said, I'll invite the President to come and give closing remarks, among other things. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Madam PRO, Ms. Samuel. So, all there is for me to say now is to declare the launch for the National Association of Work Experience Coordinators. We would have been making our mark already before our launch in terms of changing up the way the calendar looks, and I'm sure our principals and regional directors and education officers are already feeling the effects of NAWIC within the schools. We ensure that we touch all aspects of school life, and so even for career development, you would recognize in your school that work experience would put on an all angles function that will allow the students who have gone on work experience to talk about the area and what it was like in order to influence or at least encourage students to choose their paths. We are conducting seminars, preparing, working on the soft skills for our students. So NAWIC is already in action. But I want to say to you, look out for how work experience coordinators go about their business from now on. It will not be business as usual. Put your hands together for yourselves, coordinators, and for everyone. Thank you. So I'm going to invite you at this time to stand, because in all formal functions, we close with the national anthem.
One girl will be singing.
Please go ahead.
You must sing so well.
Eternal Father, bless our land. Guard us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Be our light through countless hours. To our leaders Jamaica, 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 land we love. Teach us true respect for all. Stir response to duty's call. Strengthen us, the weak to cherish. Give us vision, lest we perish. Knowledge send us, Heavenly Father, grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be ours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love.
Rising star.
I'm telling you, rising star. All right, refreshments, ladies and gentlemen, will be served after the viewing. I was kindly reminded by Madame Piaro, will be on the third floor. All right, enjoy.
Oh my God, give me a Mr. Graham.
Yes, ma'am.
By way of announcement, regions, remember we need the group pictures for that thing that we're planning. Region president, please remember your group pictures. Region 1, can we have it at the banner here? Region 1 coordinators, please.
Excuse me, Mr. Just principals, right? Just principal and pen and the care is 1 5, so just go easy on them. Go 1 page first. Just keep up to one as well. One each, not more. No, but one. So that's all. Principals and future directors here on the make sure you get envelopes and come.
Get down.
Now when I knew, then we need to do this one. Is this yours? Where is it?
Oh, somebody dropped it.
Somebody dropped it. Somebody dropped it. Let me see.
I got one of those.
Where you got it?
Collect
from
collect from you know. Give us
You understand the assignment. You are collecting signature. Understand this occasion. You understand this.
Thank you so much.
Yes, please. I'm coming right down here to you.
Region 1 president, Region 1 coordinators, please come please.
Magazine. I need a picture with everybody.
Yes, come up here.
My hand was
Just come here. Make sure my
Yes, next one. That more good.
That's it? Is it good, cameraman?
Yes. This so good. Now send it to Miss Samuel. Alright. Smile while it's tuck in. Nice.
Thank you so much, my dear.
I have to take off.
Yes, nice. Very nice. Very demure.
Look here. Miss Samuels, listen. Don't worry about it. One more minute.
Yes.
Oh, as soon as that is clear, and this is clear. Vision white.
Vision white. Here, miss.
Which one? Can't get it. Can't get it.
Yes. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute.
First class, so make sure
I
As I said, come in. Hello, sir, in the back of the chair. At the front.
Sit down, please.
Right, two tall persons.
Yes. And I want to push it in now. Push it in.
Yes,
No, Mr. Chris.
Where do we smile? Smile. Our cheese.
Thank you. Let's try this inspiration here.
Oh dear. Julia! Where's Miss Edwards? 3 got 4. Oh, 3 going up. 3 Oh, hold on. Get our picture, please. Who's supposed to be that picture?
Let's capture for wine.
One to press, one to touch each day. I move one up.
Region 3, calling all executive members, please meet at the front. Yes. Yes, sir. We are finished. The region is moving.
Yeah, I'm trying.
This one, it's served to the people who want it. Alright, so the people who come on, oh, yeah, man. What is that?
And then they're
And those who have posters for me, come back. Come back.
Take the picture, so we are still.
I'm very sorry.
Good morning, sir.
You can take a picture for me.
Oh, I see. Greg said that you may have. So you come over here. All right, come. Turn around. Turn around, people. See, you're here now. We all have to go up here.
Can we do it flat like they were doing it, sir? You want it flat? Can we do it flat? Photographer, you tell what we're doing, sir?
I don't know how to bungle.
Yes, flat. Can we do it flat? Because our number is small.
Hold up your hand. Because it's a nice people stand up beside me. This lovely young man is going to develop his smile. Jesus.
Eileen.
What's next? How easy was that?
Filming on my phone now, go finish. I'm sorry, can you get one at you?
You must remember me when I see the picture of that woman
But Irene, thank you. Come here, I'm going to want it. I'm going to film, I'm going to finish. No, one thing by yourself. By yourself.
Myself?
Yes, sir. You want some? You want to get some of the cock of the fire, you know. Go on, Mikey. Go, Mikey. Shut up.
You know, I left my work at the time.
Make sure you took you. Can't took you a minute.
Come.
You know what? You two gentlemen, yes.
Come here.
Gentlemen, go. And then Mikey, then you get one with one to the right and one to the left, sir.
Hurry up, you know, lady.
My film candle out of my phone.
Just in case, you know.
My film candle out of my phone. Only hat in the hand, yeah. So it's not Kodak.